Welcome to the Dojotalkpodcast. Please remove them shoes before entry.
Sam Master is here, and you still have not taken off your shoes.
Yeah. Living every day to define man's mission. Look into the sky for divine transmission. Deaf man's vision makes the blind man listen. Eyes on the prize, this is blind ambition. Thank you. Blind ambition.
Welcome to another edition of the Dojo Talk Podcast. I am your host, Serial Sensei. We are on episode number 62. I'm joined once again with my co-host, Anti-Cool. What's going on, man?
Not much. Just sitting here watching Knock Force videos. Probably shouldn't be anymore, but you know it is.
Watching what videos?
Knock Force.
What's Knock Force?
Oh God! So back when Newgrounds was still a thing, there was this show with these two guys who they would just talk about random shit for like a couple hours at a time, take the best 30 seconds of it and turn it into like a little animated clip. One of them is now actually like a real TV person. Like he worked on like Steven Universe and he has his own TV show now. But it's just funny to me what you can do when you have a microphone and literally just hours of free time on your hand.
Is Newgrounds still around? I remember my brother used to go in there a lot.
It is still a thing, but like nobody goes there anymore.
Yeah, it's probably not. Yeah, that used to be that was the site back once upon a time.
That was YouTube before YouTube, when you actually had to have something to say,
right?
Or some type of artistic. I don't want to say like vision, because most of it was just like was cringe humor or something. But like you had to have some type of talent.
Yeah.
Now you can just like scream racist things into a microphone and make millions of dollars. Or just torture your children. That's a thing.
Right. I always wondered, like, I don't know any of these viral people's names, but it's the one. I can't say one dude in his family because that's 1,000 YouTubers I'm describing. But there's one in specific. I just don't know his name, but I always see them like do songs and stupid stuff they record while in the car, and I'm like, I always wonder what the environment's like 5 seconds before they cut the camera on. Like, is the kid like, I'm not really trying to, like, I don't want to do this. Like, get that camera out of my face.
Yeah.
And he's just like, we have to get these views. Like, I don't know. I hope they're having fun, but I feel like secretly the kids and their wife probably hate them.
Yeah, these are all like helicopter parents who like want their kids to be movie stars. Who saw that Fred got like 4 movies and like a TV show, and they're like, that's gonna be our kid. Except for, again, the ones that actually torture their children on camera.
Yeah, I don't know. So what people do for views.
It's the advertiser money, bruh.
But they don't even really make that. I mean, you can make a lot,
depends.
but
like the dude I'm thinking about who literally tortured his children on camera for views was averaging something like 20 million views a month.
oh yeah, see, he's getting paid then.
Yeah, and he was getting paid something like $2 million a year. It's ridiculous.
He went to jail though, right? Like they shut that down, didn't they?
I'm not. They shut down his channel. I don't think he went. I'm not sure if he's in jail or being investigated or whatever. But like he would fit like they would like get their teeth pulled and like their mouths would be bleeding.
Jesus.
And like he'd videotape them, like reacting to it, and like they're having like mental breakdowns. People
are crazy.
YouTube. See, this is a problem when you give a platform to everybody, because this isn't like TV where your image is like carefully cultivated. This is literally just throwing garbage online and seeing what catches. And of course, the worst possible thing is going to catch up, like is going to be the thing everybody like tunes in for and sticks around for because everybody loves a train crash.
Yeah. See, this is why they're taking our internet away.
Yeah, you people did this.
This is why net neutrality's happening. They're taking our internet away because you people don't know what you're doing. Oh boy.
My favorite was the guy from the FCC. He made that video about how you guys are going to still be able to make your Harlem Shake videos.
I saw the thumbnail and I was like, this guy looks such a douche.
He is a
Like-
douche. Then he got sued by the guy who made the Harlem beat.
Oh my god.
And he had to take it down.
I hope. I hope you guys. I hope this podcast can last. If the internet becomes DLC, I don't know how much longer we'll be around.
We're moving to VHS. We're going back. We're gonna bring magazines back, and we're gonna have little ads at the back of them. Where like Dojo Talk Podcast episode number 84.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to start paying like a $2 subscription fee, and we'll send you VHS tapes and cassettes. And
No, we're gonna send one out. We're gonna send one out, and we're just gonna be relying on that person to like create a marketplace with it, where they copy it, and and you know every time it copies it, like the quality drops.
right.
So
Oh
this is
man.
gonna be like 50 of our like the podcast going around on VHS tapes that literally just have like your logo, but like it's like it's gonna look like it's just, like sepia tone or something. And it's just like you're only going to be able to hear like every third word we say.
Oh man. Oh man.
Prove how much you love the cast, people.
All right. This is your test of love and commitment right here. Because once the internet becomes DLC, man, we're gonna see what people are really made of.
We'll come and do the podcast live at your house
Right.
if you pay us enough.
You know. Podcast tour. That sounds like a good idea. I'm down for a podcast tour. I don't know how to explain that to my job, but they'll figure something out.
I mean, advertising.
There we go.
They're going to be they're going to be sponsoring us.
I hope. Oh man, yeah, wild week. Just it's another week in America. Just another week in America. But on the bright side, we got fights this weekend. Yeah, man, I feel like every sport is in like high gear. We got fights, playoffs for NFL are right around the corner. If your college football game, bowl games has just started.
Most importantly, my next one,
Who'd y'all play last night?
we played OKC.
Oh yeah.
And we didn't have Porzingis, and Beasley dropped like 30 points.
Oh yeah, I did see it. OKC, man. You guys, man.
I mean, what could they have expected? They put 3 dudes on the team who need the ball to be effective.
Right.
Like we've seen this before.
Shout outs to who is it? I listen to Dead End Sports a lot, and I think Ken on there always calls out OKC. He always calls out Billy Donovan, the coach, because it's like, dude, you've had so much talent, or you've had talent. There's no reason why you shouldn't. You should have had a ring by now. Like, yeah, I don't know. Then James Harden and his beard out here giving my Spurs the work. I didn't really appreciate that, but it is what it is. But that's another topic for another day. So I guess real quick before we get into the fights, just not the busiest news week, but a few things. A few fights did get announced. Eric Anders is coming right back. He will be fighting Lyoto Machida. I don't have what card that's on though.
That's the Bellum card on February 3rd.
Yes, that's a pretty quick turnaround.
That's a quick. That's a quick turnaround for Lyoto Machida because he got knocked out like 2 months ago.
Oh
Not
yeah,
even.
yeah, that did happen.
So, and now they want him to be ready to fight in like what? Not even 6-7 weeks.
That's it's a weird matchup. Like,
I don't like fights where one guy is coming in off a knockout and the other guy's a big puncher, and the other guy is 40.
right.
Like, They keep setting Leo Machida up to fail in Brazil, and it makes no sense because it's not like he's failing to other Brazilians. Like if they had made this fight with what you call it, the other dude, Paulo Costa, like that at least like there's a passing of the torch element there. This is just I'm going to send this dude from Alabama, the football team, not the state, to go down to Brazil and beat this man in front of his own country. Like, I'm not saying Machida can't win, but like, circumstances given, it seems pretty clear they want Anders to win.
Yeah, I was gonna say because if you look at like ranking wise and like placement wise, this fight doesn't really make much of sense. I mean, Machida is at the very bottom of like the top 15. Actually, they have him at 14. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And I hope the UFC, you guys better hope Machida doesn't give him a Glover treatment where you send the young guy up thinking he's gonna be the next big thing. Old man puts some paws on him, and
I'm seeing this more as like the Johnny Hendricks treatment, where like you try to give a dude a name, but like I don't think people are going to think like, oh my god, Eric Anders is so great. They're going to think, oh my god, Leo Machida is so faded. Like, and again, Machida can win this fight. He totally can. Anders is really green, but there's also a good chance Anders just goes out there and like knocks him out in 2 minutes.
Yeah,
like Brunson did. Again,
we'll see though.
Only like 3 months prior. It's such a bad. It's like when they tried to make JDS versus Ngannou, literally 2 months after JDS got knocked out fighting for the title.
I'm so glad that fight. I'm so glad that fight never happened. Oh man, he dodged a bullet. But whatever. I was gonna say whatever happened after that, but he dodged a bullet to meet other bullets. But anywho, yeah, that's a interesting matchup. Curtis Blades will be fighting Mark Hunt. It's an interesting fight too. Young guy on the come up, fighting a vet. But as old as Mark Hunt is, he is always one punch away from killing you. So I feel like if Curtis Blades can just outwork him, he should be able to win this fight. But
takedowns.
Yeah.
Takedown.
Just spam him.
Yeah.
just spam him and make him work. I think that's pretty much it for like UFC fights. Outside of the UFC, at least the biggest fight that I saw that is official, Martin Nguyen from ONE FC, who is the current featherweight champ and lightweight champ, is going for the triple crown. Dropping down to bantamweight, he will be fighting Bibiano Fernandez in March. What's the name of the event? Is the event not named? Maybe it's not named. Okay, I don't know if the event is named, but it's happening March 24th. That will be at the Impact Arena in Bangkok, Thailand. So, I mean, if Nguyen pulls this off, that's a pretty epic feat. I don't think his body will appreciate him cutting all of that weight, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
I mean, at that point, what is left for him but to go up to welterweight and try to take Ben Askren's former title?
Right. So definitely keep an eye on that, man. That would be a really, really good accomplishment. Holding 3 belts simultaneously. I don't know how all these defenses are gonna work out, but
drop them all and just leave, retire.
Right. Oh man, but yeah, shout outs to Nguyen, man. He's been on a tear, to say the least, as of late. So that's pretty much fights and things that have been announced. So I guess do we care to talk about Bellator? Even just mention who won?
Yeah, we could do that.
I don't even have that card pulled up. I know Michael McDonald won his fight by decision.
Yeah, wrestled Peter Legier. I don't do French. He wrestled him, got on top, ground and pound. From what I read, I didn't watch the fight. He also blew weight, so that's what happens when you don't fight in like a year and a half.
Oh, he blew weight?
McDonald, yeah.
Oh man.
He came in like 2-3 pounds over.
So, well, he got the W. I think Valerie Returno won her decision over Kate Jackson. And apparently in her post-fight, she called out Alima Lay McFarland and a former UFC fighter who I forgot existed, Philip DeFries, guillotined James Thompson, and Muhammad Yaha knocked out Ash Griffiths, if I'm saying that correct. So, Bellator 191. Didn't watch it, but if you want to check it out, go check it out. Maybe.
James Thompson's like one of the most like weirdly televised fighters ever. Like this dude has fought literally the two biggest names in MMA, in Kimbo Slice and the Puds. Oh my god.
His bank account's probably doing pretty good. Well, at that point, maybe. I don't know about now. But
I mean, there's money in being the opponent.
I mean, he fought Bob Sapp and Bobby Lashley. They probably got some good checks from those.
Sure.
probably got some decent checks.
I can't remember who it was, but somebody tried to argue with me that Thompson would beat Lashley. I was like, have you seen Thompson fight?
Well, I mean, he did beat Lashley.
At one time, not the second time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they are 1-1. He's also 39. But then that heavyweight age doesn't really... Yeah, but I'm not picking Thompson to...
All I'm saying is they have a heavyweight title that's vacant. They're 1-1. I think Lashley's on the biggest streak in the heavyweight division right now.
And he's not in the tournament.
Yeah. Well, he's busy doing pro wrestling or something.
Oh man, he is on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's like an 8-fight win streak.
Where is Chad Griggs?
Funny you say. Let's see. Chad Griggs, what's going on?
He hasn't fought since he got cut from the UFC.
Oh yeah, Cyril Diabate. Oh man, that guy. He retired too, didn't he?
Yep.
Oh man.
Well, he was like 40 then.
Yeah. Oh man, those are two names I've not seen in a long time.
My favorite bit of Cyril Diabate trivia was before Michael Bisping was in the UFC. They were like, I think they had like a kickboxing matchup or something, and like all I remember is Michael Bisping was very upset with Cyril Diabate, and they had a big feud on like Sherdog, and you can still go find the threads where they're like throwing jabs at each other in the same forum.
Diabate doesn't strike me as somebody who would be on Sherdog.
This is back when like everybody was on Sherdog though. Like everybody was on Sherdog in the underground because that's the only way you could get your name out there. Rampage Jackson was handing out his phone number. Like it was a different time.
Oh man, good times. But yeah, that's pretty much all the news and such going on. So. I guess we would just jump right into this card then. So last night, UFC on Fox 26 went down in Winnipeg. I guess before we even talk about any fights, I just want to say that I'm thankful that this card ended at like 10:30, something like that.
Something like that.
Main card started at 8, which is awesome. I wish like this is how every card should be. If you want to do pay-per-views later, all right, I get it. But like those FS1 cards, man, you guys need to get on the same bandwagon. Start these cards earlier.
Remember that year when the UFC just moved everything like an hour earlier? Like main cards start at 9 o'clock. Like fight nights.
Yeah.
That was amazing. I missed that.
Why they?
West Coast. Everything the UFC does time wise is so that the West Coast can have their freaking cards in the afternoon instead of at night like we do. Or I'm saying, or so, like starting at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I should say.
Man, see, Cali guys, man, still get your people under control. Oh man, but anywho, card ended on a good time, so that was awesome. But this main event, so just jump right into it. Rafael Dos Anjos and Robbie Lawler. I was really intrigued to see how this fight was going to play out, and I didn't think it was going to be like this, like much of a, a beatdown. Like this, I mean, we've seen Dos Anjos how many times at welterweight now? Twice, 2 or 3?
This is
already? Third. And I mean, obviously, when he fought Saffiedine, like he just kind of like outworked him. Magny, it did seem like he kind of took down with ease, but like Magny's not really a huge welterweight, kind of a skinny, lanky dude. And
like he is and he isn't.
Yeah. And I was looking at him and Robbie, and I'm like, okay, how's this gonna? Is he still gonna be able to like outwork Robbie, or like how's it gonna go if Robbie catches him clean? And man, RDA put a clinic, like an absolute clinic on Robbie. And not to say that like Robbie wasn't fighting back or, you know, offering any resistance, but it just seemed like RDA had an answer for literally everything. Just brilliant clinch work, elbows, flying knees. I noticed the second time I watched it, he did a good job of just like not getting hit. I mean, like he ate shots obviously throughout the fight, but like he did a good job of keeping his head moving so he wasn't on a straight line. He was getting out of the way a good amount of the time. You know, he did get tagged a few, but like just good defense of not, you know, putting yourself in too many terrible situations. And then on the other end, just like a relentless offense, a relentless pace. That flurry that they said, I think that was I can't remember if it was the first or second round, where he backed Robbie up against the cage.
That was second.
And he just
second round. And he threw 48 punches. It's great.
Yeah, some 40-something punch, and they said it was a 23-second flurry.
Yeah.
And I have a hit. Well, I used to own a heavy bag. I have a Wave Master now, but my heavy bag broke, so I had to get something easier. But like, if you hit a heavy bag, even for like 15 seconds straight, like you feel the burn in your arms. And he did an all-out flurry for 23 seconds. And I mean, props to Robbie though. He was trying to shoulder roll. I think he evaded some of them, but he definitely ate some body shots for his troubles. Yeah, RDA, man, he it was just a 5-round. He just worked him. Like he really just. I was impressed. I was really, really, really impressed. I can't remember, at least as of recent, seeing somebody just kind of like outwork and just like out hustle Robbie like that.
Yeah. But my overarching thought for this whole fight was RTA is probably going to win it down the stretch. Because the last time I think we saw like a prime Robbie Lawler was kind of the Rory McDonald fight, where he was down 3-1 on the judges' scorecards and somehow dug deep in the 5th round. Towards the end of the 4th, 5th, and then came out in the 5th and broke Rory's face. Like RDA was always going to be the dude who worked more. One of the most overlooked things about him is he's one of the best conditioned athletes in the sport. Like, this dude fought with Tony Ferguson at altitude for 5 rounds after almost passing out during his weight cut. Like, how many people could go 5 rounds with Tony Ferguson, you know, at sea level?
Right.
Let alone after a shitty weight cut and fighting 7,000 feet in the air in Mexico, or however freaking high up it is. Like, the dude is like a next level fighter when it comes to like just being able to keep pace. And I think he threw something like 350, 400 strikes here.
Yeah, he landed he landed 253 or something like that. 200 something to 400 something.
Yeah.
Like
Robbie still obviously hits really freaking hard, but I don't think he's the guy he was during that McDonald fight. Okay, we saw a little bit of it during the Condit fight. We saw a little bit during the Donald Cerrone fight where he needed to take a round off in the middle so he could come out and have that big third round where he was just like working constantly. Like you're not gonna get that break against RDA. I don't want to say it was surprising, but what was really interesting to see was like this. This was like a grown ass fight. This is like a grown man fight. Like this fight reminds me a lot of the first Gadella Joanna Jacek fight, where like it's just gritty and like you get nothing for free.
Right.
Give me 2 seconds.
All right. But yeah, that for you guys listening. There was a point in like the first round.
All right, I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry. So yeah, like the interesting parts about this fight were like this fight was almost fought like exclusively in the clinch after for the first 2 rounds it was a little bit at distance, but like there was still heavy clinch exchanges, and like the last 3 rounds were basically all in the clinch. Like Robbie invited it, like he did not try to break and like throw, and probably in large part because he couldn't walk very well. Like,
yeah, he got his legs. Yeah, legs got chewed up a bit.
Yeah. Tonight was really like a night just all about like leg kicks. Like so many of these fights were decided by them. The Pons Perry fight, the Emmett Lamas fight, but in like the opposite direction.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The Megdesi Trujillo fight, like yeah, leg kicking, valuable skill to have against heavy-footed, explosive power punchers like Robbie Lawler, Trujillo, and Mike Perry. But yeah, like no, this was like RDA is legitimately one of the pound-for-pound best fighters in MMA. Like I had him as like best lightweight prior to getting knocked out by Alvarez. Like he's still one of the top like 3 or 4. Now he's like the number 2 welterweight in the division, so go figure.
Yeah. There was a part in the first round, I think, where like they had gotten to a clinch. And he like he just like dragged Robbie across the cage. He kneed him so many times. And I was like, I don't know if Robbie can't break the clinch or is RDA just a lot stronger than I think he is. And he's just holding this clinch and just kneeing the crap out of Robbie.
Well, they both seem like pretty happy to be there. Like even the parts where RDA, when RDA wanted to break the clinch, he would go for that knee tap, which eventually turned into actual takedowns. But like it wasn't like either one of them was like neither one was going for like the over under and just like hanging on to like the other person's chest or waist or something. Like they were just literally just wrapping an arm around the head and like I'm going to push my hips up into yours and we're going to fight from here.
All right. Yeah, his work rate is just insane. Like, and like I said, man, he doesn't. He got tagged in this fight, but he never really was in any like a lot of danger. Like he wasn't. There weren't many moments where like, it was like, oh, Robbie's about to, you know. Robbie had a few moments of explosion, but RDA just always would get right back in the fight.
Yeah.
Like,
and Robbie's used to dropping early rounds. Like, so, you know, the first round comes around, he loses that one. The second round comes around, he loses that one. He started to pick up in the third, and then he gets dropped.
Yeah, I don't know if he got dropped or pushed.
Like, I think he got hurt, and he's just like, you know, I'm gonna go down. The round's almost over. I got 2 more rounds to work. Yeah. God, those elbows when like RDA did not throw them often, but when he did, like those were the things that actually like I want to say in the 4th round he came they were in the clinch along the fence. RDA hit him with a right elbow, and instead of like trying just like eating it like he did in the first one, the 3rd round, Robbie just breaks and like they're back in the center of the cage. So like you could see like all the things that RDA was doing start to pay off.
Yeah. Dude is he's an animal. And I posted this on Twitter, man. Just some of the bodies on Dos Anjos' resume. So you got Robbie Lawler, Neil Magny, Donald Cerrone, Anthony Pettis. Oh, Donald Cerrone twice, I should mention. Pettis, Diaz, Bendo, Evan Dunham. It's a lot of high quality competition. He's like beat, and a lot of those fights, like, they weren't close.
Yeah.
These were fights that he dominated.
The WEC trio you just named, like Cerrone, Bendo, and Bettis, like collectively, I think they won one round against him, and he stopped two of them like twice. He stopped them twice. So like, the man is a savage. Just and what's doubly going to like win him points in at welterweight is like, besides the Usmans and the Tills and the Ponzinibbio's, most of these dudes are old. Like, I could see him doing that to Carlos Condit. I could see him doing that to Tyron Woodley. Like, he's the most interesting matchup for Tyron Woodley right now.
See, yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, how does that? I don't know how that fight plays out. That's a weird. I almost just can't even picture how that fight's gonna look. Because this Woodley, his fights lately have just been kind of. I mean, he's been winning, but I don't know. It's been weird to watch. So I'm like, I don't know if this RDA plot forward, but then he gets the Robbie treatment where maybe he gets a little too happy and he gets exploded on and that's it. Or, yeah, I don't know how that fight turns out.
Well, the whole thing with that, like with Woodley, is like he loves to fight with his back to the cage. Like he's going to give RDA the space to operate. It's just all comes down to, does RDA get dragged? Like, he's not going to get caught in the pace that Wonder Boy did or that Maya did, where like they just sit there and they're afraid to throw. Like, RDA is going to get in there. He's going to mix it up and he's going to go to the body, which he did way better with his hands in this fight than he did in previous fights. We've seen him kick to the body before. That's what he stopped Cerrone with. But like the body punching here that he was working on with Jason Perillo was like sublime.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I kind of wish he went to the body more in the second round during that flurry, because I think he would have stopped. I think he could have stopped Lawler, because those were the ones that were hurting him. Like, he was kind of rolling with the headshots, and even the ones that land clean were like landing on like that granite ass head he has.
Right.
But like the body shots, like you could like there was that little jump when they would land, where like, yeah, that really hurt. But like against Woodley, he's going to have to watch out for the power shot. He's going to have to watch out for like the takedown. But like, I don't think he's like Wonder Boy is going to let him just like pound on him for like the majority of a round. He's going to fight to get back up. He's going to make Woodley work. It's all going to come down to, does RDA have a deep enough like striking game to do the same thing that Rory McDonald did to Woodley, where like defensively he doesn't leave himself open to being hit with that big ass power shot, that just explosive ass right hand that Woodley could throw from anywhere. So, side note, by the way, this is Lawler's first fight outside the United States.
Yeah, they mentioned that during the broadcast. That's crazy. Like,
this dude's fought like 40 times, and this is his first time not in the States.
And you would think, like, that's a guy you would want to push to a foreign crowd. Like, he's going to give you a fun fight.
Yeah.
But,
like, Joey mentioned this. Like, Robbie seems like the type of dude who's fought in Japan.
Right. He definitely does. That's crazy. Well, I was wondering, too, because Woodley, I think he's opted to get surgery or something for an injury that he had. So I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for. So do you think RDA has another fight in between while Woodley's, I guess, probably healing up?
His labrum is torn. He's probably not back till March at the earliest.
something like oh, hold on, RDA's labrum or
Oh no, Woodley.
Willie?
I
Because I was wondering, does he get a fight maybe in between then, and if so, like who?
no, like if I'm RDA, like the only knock against RDA in this whole thing is like when he came, like after like in the post fight interview, he was not. He asked for a title shot. But it was like this little rambling thing where like I've been in the UFC for 10 years. Like I like it's not an I'm owed. It was like an I'm owed this, not like I'm taking this. And that probably would have done a little better, especially since that arena seemed really deflated after like Lawler did not show up. That's probably like my only knock against him. Like, yeah, I just beat 3 top 10 guys in a row. Give me a freaking title shot. I'll take the title off of Woodley. So, like, if I'm him, like, I'm like title shot or bust. Cause
Yeah, I do the same. I think, especially after this, like you just dominated Robbie. Like that seems like a stamp. But I have a feeling we'll probably see RDA versus Colby.
I mean, he's tweeting about it. Like, I don't want to talk about his garbage ass tweets though. So
yeah,
fuck him.
yeah, I saw it. I didn't want to see it, but it popped up on my timeline. But we'll see though. Either way, any doubts I may have had at all about Dos Anjos at welterweight?
Like the only bad matchup I see from him is Wonder Boy. If he can wrestle with Lawler, like the only matchup I see being a little, well, like Woodley too, who I don't think is a bad matchup for him, but like that's a hard matchup. Like a bad matchup would be Wonder Boy.
Yeah.
But even then, like RDA is probably the best leg kicker Wonder Boy's ever faced, and that's always been like a thing with American karate guys, like Raymond Daniels, like was the homie Wayne.
Oh, Barrett.
Wayne Barrett, there we go.
Yeah.
Like they tend to like when they like to dance on the outside, they tend to leave their legs open for leg kicks. So
Well, yeah. We'll see though. But yeah, dominant performance from RDA, man. That was really, really, really impressive to watch. Speaking of impressive, Josh Emmett, Ricardo Lamas. Lamas was what, number 3, I believe?
yes,
And Josh Emmett, who is not in the top 15 at all. I mean, props to Lamas for taking this fight because I feel like these are the fights that you don't, as somebody ranked as high as him, like, you could have easily shrugged this off and be like, man, I'm not fighting this dude. He's not even, But he took the fight. Yeah, as you kind of alluded to earlier, Lamas had a very kick-heavy offense. Kind of played the outside, leg kicks, body kicks, head kicks, a few jabs here and there, but yeah, really kick-heavy offense. And Emmett would blitz every now and then, kind of more so throwing power shots. And then the moment of truth, I think Lamas stepped in for like an inside leg kick.
outside leg kick.
Outside leg kick. And I feel like he tried to throw something after that, but it didn't matter because he got caught with a left hook. And
So just basic striking 101, and I've had the problems with this in the past when I used to kickbox. But when you throw a leg kick, even like those power outside leg kicks to the lead leg of your opponent, you don't turn your head away from your opponent. You know, like you move it, but you keep your eyes on your opponent. Like Lamas, like shelled up or something, like between his hands and like turned completely
yeah,
away.
he not ducked, but he kind of like, yeah, I know what you mean.
And Emmett was just like in prime position to like he got everything on that left hook. All his leg, like all the weight was on his lead leg when he started, and it was on his back leg when he ended. And not like Lamas was, like you said, Lamas was about like in the motion of throwing his own left hook, but it had nowhere near the steam. Like his footwork was like nowhere close for it to be like a really solid power shot, and like, yeah, no, Emmett just, yeah, no, like that was the closest thing you're gonna see at featherweight to what Ngannou did to Overeem.
Right, yeah, like his head bounced like 3 times off the canvas when he it was bad. It was bad.
It was like the Yuri Alcantara knockout to Lamas, but like in reverse because Alcantara hit him with the opposite hand.
My God, like, oh, I mean,
this would be so much bigger for Emmett too if he had made weight.
yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of the one thing that because he's a big featherweight, man. That dude's really thick.
Yeah, and apparently he cut weight. He stopped cutting weight like 90 minutes before weigh-in. That's what I read. So, like, he still had time to make weight, but I guess it was just a bad cut. But no, like, and he said he would be down for a rematch because of like he missed weight, so that's good on him, I guess.
Well, we'll see, but yeah, either way, that's still a pretty big upset. A guy who was not ranked in the top 15 comes in and just starches Ricardo Lamas.
See, that's the one. That's the one thing about this fight. Like Lamas is the ultimate opportunist. Like Emmett's not like Knight or Oliveira or even Swanson, who in previous years has been a bit of a wild man and will give up a lot of opportunities to counter and stuff like that. Like Emmett is a sound fighter in that he does not give you a lot of opportunities. You have to like take them from him. And I guess that's something in like hindsight that shows here because Lamas is like the ultimate opportunist, but he's only opportunist if you give him the opportunity. He doesn't make his own.
Well, yeah, I don't even know what else to. I was when that KO happened. I was looking at the screen like, ooh, like that happened. He's out.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to say, man. Like,
so if they don't do the Lamas Emmett rematch, are you down with Emmett Ortega for the winner of Holloway Edgar?
See, I was thinking about that. I guess so. Because I wanted to say I feel like Ortega's kind of earned his shot. And that he doesn't really... Could be me being biased also. But, you know what? I'm not... I guess I'm not mad at that. But I don't know, though. Because I feel like Ortega kind of... I feel like he put his stamp. Like, he should be... I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, Emmett just literally floored the number 3 dude.
The number 3 dude who beat the guy that Ortega had just beat.
Yeah.
So, like, I'd rather Ortega get another fight instead of us waiting like 5-6 months for him to get back. Like that's my only thing. Like, and like, best to get another training camp in before you have to fight Max Holloway, who I think is going to beat the crap out of Edgar, which pains me because I'm a Jersey guy, but.
We'll see. Actually, no, yeah, I'm not mad at that fight. Actually, and I guess the good thing about that is, you know, no matter who wins, we finally get definitely like a fresh face. Like we won't see Max against like a veteran that we've seen fight 30 times already.
Like many other people in this division, in this top 10, who he's already beaten.
Right. So yeah, in that respect, yeah, I guess it would be cool. So and I guess for Emmett, man, timing is everything because Emmett's like 32. So. Not to say his window's closing. Lamas is 35, and he's been hanging around the top 5 for forever and a day. Yeah, no, I guess I'm not mad at that. And who knows, like, I mean, we've seen Emmett fight. He's been in the UFC for, what, I think 4 or 5, maybe 6 fights already.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, yeah, I'm not mad at that fight. I probably would still pick Ortega.
Mm-hmm.
But if you start the number 3 dude, if they want to give you a contender fight, I mean, I can't really argue against it. You knocked out the number 3 dude in an emphatic fashion, so yeah, why not? Because I mean, we don't know how the Holloway and Frankie fight's gonna go. We don't know what injuries could or may happen to either one of them, so and that would probably be a fun fight either way. So yeah, I guess I'm not mad at that.
This might have been upset of the year had it not been for Rose Namajunas. So, like, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head that's been this. I don't even say shocking, but like unheralded dude knocks out number 3 man in division.
Right, like boldly knocks him out. Like no question. Like no, this wasn't a fluke or some lucky punch. Like yeah, he killed him. He killed him. But hey man, 145 killers everywhere. No, but shout out to Team Alpha Male.
Jason Knight had to have his career destroyed by Ricardo Lamas for this moment to be brought to us.
Life comes full circle. Oh man. But yeah, shout outs to Josh Emmett, man. Awesome KO. Yeah, I'm curious to see what he does do next. Next fight. Santiago Ponzinibbio and Mike Perry.
Before we get into the fight, can I just say I'm very happy Mike Perry didn't win. Not because I don't like Mike Perry, which I don't, but because I was really afraid that Mike Perry would win. And we would get Mike Perry versus Colby Covington on Tough. And this sport would be set back like 20 years because of it.
That would have been the most obnoxious build up to a fight. Oh man, that I don't even know. And the thing is, that fight at some point is probably gonna happen.
Probably.
And that would be a fight. I'm like, who am I supposed to root for in this? Who do I? I don't know. Ponzi put that to rest though, at least for the time being. But who knows what the future holds. But anywho, yeah, Santiago Ponzinibbio, Mike Perry. A lot of people were anticipating this fight.
Chase Sherman's manager was making bets on Twitter in Chase Sherman's name.
Was this the fight where he was like, if this fight doesn't end in KO, I'll take a punch from Ngannou with my hands tied behind my back or something? Yep. Oh, man. I mean, I don't say you came close to KO. They were definitely landing bombs on each other, but props to Mike Perry, man. The dude's chin is made of some other stuff. Oh man, I'm sorry, my nose is starting to get stuff though.
He might be like the Florida man of MMA. Like he's like the legit Florida man meme, but the dude is like a legit tough ass dude. Like you can't take that from him.
Yeah, he ate a lot of shots, but he never stopped moving forward.
Not at all.
Yeah, dude he's one of those zombie / machine kind of fighters. If you don't, you have to put him out because he doesn't go away. Well, actually, nobody's put him out. I don't think he's
not been stopped.
Yeah, he's never been stopped. So, and
we're definitely seeing his limitations. And the thing is, it's not he can't move past that. He is a ridiculously good, surprisingly good athlete. He's not just a dude a Chris Lieben type. This dude, a lot of this man's power comes from his ability to get maximum leverage on his on his hips and just his straight athleticism because he's explosive as shit.
Yeah, he was just winging. My only problem with Perry is that I feel and it kind of shows in this fight. Not that Ponzinibbio's a super duper technical, guy, but I just think Perry to me is in that box of if he can't put you away, then I don't know really what his other options are, and especially if you're fighting a guy who's probably like a bit more technical than you and a bit more well-rounded,
Yeah.
and who mixes up his attack more because Ponzi was, I mean, really they both were like Perry was landing that right hand. He jabbed Ponzinibbio's face until it just started bleeding all over the place. But like Ponzi did a good job. We mentioned earlier, like leg kicks were a theme throughout this card. Ponzi battered him with leg kicks.
Even early when he lost the first round, but he was investing in those leg kicks.
And they paid off. Like they definitely, you could tell by like the mid second and third, like he was feeling them every time they landed. And then Ponzi was doing a good job, like leg kick followed up with a right and a left, throwing combinations. A couple times he got Perry against the fence. Like he tagged Perry he had a really good output.
Yeah.
Like he was just staying busy. But Perry was in his face though. Like he wasn't. It felt like I was waiting for that moment. I was like, I don't know, Perry might still be able to land because he caught him with like a big right at one point. But yeah, I just think Ponzi just was kind of just technically more sound.
Yeah.
He can eat a good shot, and he threw just it seemed like so much more, and
which is crazy because Perry was tired as fuck. Like they both were, but like Ponzinibbio was still like moving towards the end of the fight. If he was getting a little bit more flat-footed, but Perry was like winded. Like he was way more flat-footed by the end. And it's crazy because this is still improvement for Perry. Like he like the kicking, especially where he was able to keep Ponzinibbio in front of him for pieces, like stretches of time where he was able to jab with him and he was able to like maybe not land fully with that big right hand, but like he was able to, you know. Because anytime he touched Ponzinibbio with that like big overhand shot, like Ponzinibbio's whole body would like just like shoot across the ring or the cage. Like like he felt it even when it landed on the shoulder. But Ponzinibbio stuck to the game plan. The favorite thing he did is, that he was doing was he would like Perry's head movement was on point, but a lot of it didn't lead to like a counter. Or it would put him in a position where, like, even if he did throw a counter, like, it wouldn't, Ponzinibbio had time to react. So he would get Perry to move his head, like, 3 or 4 times to a position where, like, Perry was either squared up or, like, just so low in his stance, because that's what's the thing with Perry. Like, he likes to crouch when he moves his head. And he kept crouching and crouching until he was, like, in a little ball. And Ponzinibbio would drop a 2 on him and then just skirt out the way.
And actually, it's funny you mentioned because I have the third round up now while you're even talking about it. I forgot to mention that back fist that Ponzi landed.
Oh my god,
in the
I forgot all
third.
about that. That's what won him the fight. 'Cause he was losing.
Oh my
He looked
god.
like he was on his way to losing the round, and then he hits him with a spinning back fist that turns like a arm or something.
Because he ate a right hand and he got backed up, and then like Perry tried to rush him and he just out of nowhere spinning back fist.
The craziest part about that is like he doesn't follow through with it. He lands and like spins back the other way.
Yeah, that was props to Perry though, man. Like, cause that was a pretty clean shot, and he went down, but like he never went out, man. Like dude has a ton of heart.
Yep.
Yeah, this was just a nasty, mean, just really grueling kind of brawl, which I guess is pretty much what people had hoped for, what people expected. So especially toward like the second and the third when it picked up a bit more. So yeah, I feel like if you wanted a brawl between these two, like you definitely got it. Both of them were landing good shots. We had knockdowns. And everything you could have wanted in a nice bloody fight, you pretty much got in this. What's next for Ponzi? He's been doing pretty well as of late.
I mean, he's an honorary Brazilian, so he could also beat up Colby Covington if we really wanted to.
Dude, he is on a tear.
Yeah, no, he's on like one of the longest winning streaks in the division. It's like him and Usman.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fight win streak.
Yep.
And this is all within the last 2 years.
Dude stays active.
Yo, he's fought. This is his third fight this year. He fought 3 times this year, twice last year, 3 times in 2015. Yeah, he stays. Yeah, this dude stays busy. And like these are pretty quality wins that he has. So yeah, man. Shout out to Ponzi out here.
Maybe give him the winner of Condit Magny. Usman needs a real opponent eventually. Like, respect to ML Meek, but like he is one fight in the UFC, and his best win is Paul Harris, who, you know,
Who is Paul Harris?
Paul Harris is a coin flip, no matter who he's fighting. So, so maybe do the Usman fight for the winner of whatever. Maybe do Darren Till, Pons versus Darren Till. That'd be a great fight. I already said Covington. But I'm sure Wonderboy needs an opponent. Like, he just can't stay inactive. Granted, I think Wonderboy said he can't fight in February, so.
I like the Usman fight only because I feel like nobody really wants those issues. And I think Ponzi would take that fight.
Oh, yeah.
And it would
Ponzi
definitely be entertaining.
Ponzi seems like the type of dude down to fight anybody.
Yeah. So, and Usman's been needing just to fight somebody because nobody seems to want those issues in their lives. Not that I blame them.
Apparently, they've offered Usman to like everybody, and everybody's turned it down. So
yeah, everybody knows what could potentially happen. But yeah, man, shout outs to Ponzi. Great, just nice bloody brawl. I'm sure Perry will be back. He just seems like the kind of guy that
he's gonna,
they'll keep him around forever.
He will be a pay-per-view curtain jerker or a Fox mainstay for years to come.
Yeah, just because he's either gonna knock somebody out, or if he loses, it's gonna be a nice bloody
mess,
affair. So yeah, we'll definitely be seeing more from both of these guys. I'm pretty sure in the near future. And to round out the main card, Glover Teixeira, Misha Serkinov. Moral of this story: stop sending your young guys to Glover thinking they're going to be the next big thing, because he is shooing the young boys away.
I will say, Serkinov looked way better on the feet than he has.
He did.
Granted, I think that's partly because Glover Teixeira has like decayed as a striker. He hasn't looked good since I don't know. Like, I guess Rashad Evans, but like Rashad Evans hasn't looked good in years either. So
just like he wasn't really like pulling the trigger.
Yeah, and I think this is part of being old. Like, he's been knocked out a few times now. Like, it's just harder and harder for him to like get that rhythm of the fight, and it's really starting to like wear on his ability to stand with people. But
yeah, because Misha tagged him a few good licks, and it seemed like after he got tagged, Glover was like, "All right, man, let's stop this nonsense," and it took him down.
The double underhook, literally goes one way for the foot sweep, doesn't get it, goes the other way, gets it, and Serkinov is supposed to be like a national level, like in Canada anyway, like a national level judoka. Like, he's a legit judo guy. So, like, that confused the hell out of me, because, like, he just got tossed.
Yeah. And once he got taken down, like, he almost got rear naked choke, but Glover only had it on the chin, so he got out of it. But then...
Can we talk about that really quick? Because tonight was a night of just, like, really confusing, bad grappling by, like, the guy on bottom. Because in this fight, you have Serkinov, who is about to get rear naked choke. Glover locks in the top hand, and Serkinov is still pushing his arm up, as opposed to going up for the top hand so that he can get rid of the pressure.
Right.
In the who was it? The Bufando fight. Just like the dude doesn't know how to bridge.
Yeah, he looked kind of lost when he was at the bottom.
And in the Marquez fight, he's made the same mistakes that Serkinov did, but like they both, I guess, worked out. Less so for Serkinov, but like it's just really bad grappling from the bottom today.
Yeah, once he got taken down, like it was almost like immediately over. And then Glover takes his back. He just kind of beats on him for a few seconds. And that was it, man. Glover's getting these young guys out of here, you know.
Like Glover might not be able to strike with anybody anymore. He might not be like the one punch KO dude he was when he showed up, but he's still the dude who is a good enough wrestler to get fights to the ground and such an amazing grappler that none of these other dudes really stand a chance. Like he so far he's knocked the steam off of OSP, Cannonier, Serkinov. Crap, who's the last dude he beat? Patrick Cummins.
Pat Cummins.
And there was a fifth guy.
I don't know if you count. Do you count Tahuna?
No.
You got Bader out of there.
Crap. Okay.
Yeah, because his last wins are Serkinov, Cannonier, Evans, Cummins, OSP, Bader, Tahuna, Rampage, Maldonado, Kingsbury. Oh, that's all.
All right. So he's knocked out 4 prospects basically.
Yeah, he's getting. They send the young guys over, and he kicks them out. You come on his lawn, he gets off his porch, and he gets you out of there.
Whoops your ass. Goes back to sitting in his chair.
Right. You don't got time for you kids. But and then he has the friendliest call out of Cormier. You know, so we're old guys, we're old school. I didn't realize, man, he's got the grays in his beard, man. That's that.
Dude, he's like 38, 39.
Yeah, he's like 39.
Dude, man is old, but he's still getting wins.
Yep.
Like, who the hell do you even have him fight anymore? Like, he can't.
I don't know.
He can't beat Gus. Like, that's fairly established. Like, I know they're teasing Johnson coming back, but that was at like heavyweight, so like he's not coming back. Like,
are him and Shogun aren't training? Are they partners or anything?
I think they are. Like, to like an extent. Like, I'm not sure.
So then the only other person really you could throw in would be Manoa.
Like, Manoa, DC, and Uzdemir. And Manoa's coming off a loss, I think. Like, I guess you could do the Blachowicz fight.
Yeah, he's probably the only other the only other 205er who's still. What's Latifi doing? Did he just lose?
He's fighting OSP.
Okay, all right. So they're tied up. See, I don't know. Yeah, like Glover's beat pretty much all of the young up and comers. He's gotten them on out of there. So I don't know. Why is Little Nog still ranked?
Because he's alive.
When is the last time? I feel like I haven't seen him in like 3 years. It's probably been less than that, but like, I always get, when I see his name, I'm like, why is he still?
I want to say his last fight was like Shogun.
Oh man, let me see. When is Little Nog's last?
Man, he fought Shogun to a decision, unlike Volante, who just got knocked out.
Oh no, his last fight. Oh no, his last fight was losing to Bader. Oh, that was last year.
Oh well, that was sad. I forgot all about that.
Well, yeah, I don't know what you do with Glover next. Like, if you give him a young guy, he probably turns him away, and you don't want that.
Just sign like 50 guys for light heavyweight. Like, they don't even have to be good. Like, just get 50 guys. Like, get them some money so they can get like a training camp going behind them, and maybe one of them be good in like a year or two. Like, maybe you'll luck out. But
man, one of you middleweights needs to get up here.
See, this is why I'm mad at Kelvin Gastelum, because he couldn't knock out Chris Weidman. Because Chris Weidman might be light heavyweight right now.
Yeah.
Like, Glover Teixeira or Chris Weidman would be a good fight.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Yeah, 205 has some. I would hate to be a matchmaker in that division. That's a puzzling. division to like try to figure out.
It's not even puzzling. It's
Oh.
just like it feels like they've given up on it.
Yeah, like everybody's fought. All the old guys have fought each other already
Multiple
like,
times.
And it's like it's not really. There's not a lot of interesting matchups to really to make.
There's not a lot of
but-
interesting fighters. It's like it's Cormier. It's Gustafsson. It's Uzdemir, who like arguably should have lost to OSP. Like he's been on a tear since. Don't get me wrong, but like we just saw Serkinov get get the crap beat out of him again. And Jimmy Manua. So who knows?
Well,
Just-
yeah.
Who knows? I don't know.
205 going 205. That's the moral of that story.
Remember when this division was the Glory division?
Right. Like this was like the premier, like anybody who was anybody was in 205. And then it just like, is this all John Jones's fault?
No. Do you like? I don't know what it was about the 90s and like early 2000s, but like it just was a better environment for heavyweights, like in kickboxing and in MMA. I don't know what was in the water like during the 80s and 90s. Like and a lot of it's weight cutting because like Yoel Romero, Luke Rockhold, Chris Weidman, like those guys would be 205ers if this was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with heavyweight. Like that like this wellspring of heavyweights from kickboxing dried up. Same with like jiu-jitsu because guys like Nog aren't winning tournaments anymore. It's like Buchecha and like Roger Gracie. We haven't like not all of them, but a lot of the heavyweights who come over from wrestling have kind of like fizzled out a little bit. Like Steve Mako, like where are you? I guess there's still Tyrell Fortune and like Curtis Blades, but like when's the last time an NCAA 4-time division champion from the heavyweight division has come to the like MMA? Like Cole Conrad, and he left
Yeah, he got out of here.
because he realized it was stupid and he could go sell like farm equipment for more money.
I don't know. I guess the tide just turned, like, because back in the day, like, especially in boxing, like, heavyweight was the thing, and now it seems like the little guys.
Well, in all fairness, like heavyweight in boxing is 95% of the time is shit. Like going all the way back to Joe Jackson, like heavyweight 95% of the time is garbage. Like there was that one era where like Muhammad Ali and like George Foreman and like Joe Frazier and like all those dudes just piled onto the scene. They gave this illusion that like heavyweight was like this illustrious thing, but there are literally like 20, 15-year periods between every great heavyweight where heavyweight's just garbage. Like if you go back and watch some of the dudes that Joe Louis fought, and Joe Louis is my favorite heavyweight of all time, but like Tony Two-Ton, who's literally just like a 5'5" fat guy with a chin, like
Oh man.
but like everybody gets one era, like every sport gets like one era of like really good heavyweights, and then like the rest is just shit. MMA's just peaked early.
I think this is the decade of little guys, man. I think the little guys got shunned for a long time, and now they're taking over.
It could just be that too. It just could be like we now know what like prime athletes look like.
All right.
So the middle of light heavyweight doesn't seem as impressive anymore.
Yeah, it's well, I guess transition to mid-tier light heavyweights. Or no, these both guys are both ranked though.
I
Actually.
mean, like number 15. There's like 29 guys in the heavyweight division, so these guys are literally mid tier.
Yeah. So, Jan Blachowicz and Jared Cannonier. You know what's bad is I watched this fight like twice, and it still doesn't really stick out to me much. Like I don't remember much of what really happened.
You see,
I just feel
and you
like
know what the funny thing is? This is the best win. This is the best performance of Blachowicz' career. So,
I don't really remember much of it. Like,
Blachowicz kickboxed. He out kickboxed Jared Cannonier, who walked him down for 15 minutes, but it wasn't until like the third round where he could pull the trigger, and even then it just led to him getting taken down.
yeah, I remember in the third, he came out kind of urgent. He landed a few good right hands, but it was kind of a too little, too late kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess shout outs to Jan. I mean,
He's found his ground because he was losing a lot,
yeah.
and like he was on the precipice of getting like kicked out the UFC and going back to KSW. Oh, tweet of the night, by the way. God, what was it? Can we trade Jan Blachowicz back to KSW for Cobra Kleist and a neo-Nazi to be named later?
I think I saw that. Oh man. Oh boy. Shout outs to Jan. Oh yeah, he was the guy who choked out Devin Clark with like that standing.
Yeah, that bulldog
yeah, that
choke.
Yeah, he little broed him. Oh man, shout outs to Jan. I mean, Jan's only 34 at heavyweight. That's like being 21. So
I mean, he's light heavyweight, bro.
oh yeah, like same difference.
I mean, none
It's like
of
25.
it matters.
All right.
Like one day when Daniel Cormier retires, it's gonna be Jan Blachowicz versus Alexander Gustafsson for the title.
Oh,
That's
man.
where I'm at today.
But...
Like, credit to him. Like I said, he did well behind the jab and he kicked well and he did all the things you're supposed to do, but it wasn't like I'm lighting the division on fire type deal.
yeah, just a solid guy who he'll put up a good fight, but yeah, I'm not sure I don't know, really wowed anybody. But even still, at 205, anybody who has any kind of steam going, I try to support. And he's a talented fighter. It's not like he's just some scrub out there. Like he's a talented dude. It just wasn't.
His night.
Yeah, it just wasn't the most wasn't the wildest fight, but still solid win nonetheless. So shout outs to Jan. This next fight, pretty wild. Julian Marquez, Darren the Dentist Stewart. I don't know why I keep remembering his nickname. He fought recently, didn't he?
It was, yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, he fought Roberson on the Poirier Pettis card. Oh man, he's lost 3 straight.
Yep.
Jesus.
That's what happens when you come to the UFC and you're really only good for being really strong and really fast.
Yeah. I mean, both these guys pretty much emptied the tank right away. I think they got a bonus for this fight. I can't
So
remember.
I've called this division like the tough dad division, like middleweight, but I think the bar fight division also fits it aptly. Because everybody who fights in it looks like they would get in a bar fight if they could.
I mean, this was just a slugfest of just both men coming forward, both men throwing. I feel like Stewart in the beginning was probably landing a lot more.
Yeah, he had Marquez hurt like several times, like hurt.
Yeah,
but like at the same time, neither one of these guys like showed it. Like Stewart is tough as shit because he ate some bombs like in the second round. Marquez too, but Stewart ate them when he was tired.
Yeah, man. I think Marquez's beard power. What was the difference? Yeah, you could tell like by that second, man. Stewart was. I mean, he was still throwing, but that tank was definitely. It was getting close to E, and I almost feel like he kind of just like fell into that guillotine. Like he was
Well,
just.
he got hit with the knee before, right?
Oh no, yeah, he did. He got hit with the knee, and then I think that knee hurt him a lot more than like the commentators like
Hold on.
metal. Yeah, because like if you look at it after he got kneed, he literally he kind of just fell into it. Like I don't know if he was out or if he was just stunned, but that knee definitely hurt him because he fell like right into that choke.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't even think he tapped. I think he got put to sleep.
No, he
I'm pretty
tapped.
sure.
He tapped.
But yeah,
around Marcus's ass. So.
Nah. shout outs to Marquez. Yeah, that was a really, yeah, it really was. It was just like a bar fight that ended in a chokehold, and then Marquez called out Woodley to challenge him to see who has the best beard in the UFC. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. Pretty sure they'll bring Marquez back just because.
Dude, Dana loved him off the show when he beat up Phil Hayes. So like Marquez is one of those dudes like play his cards right. He's gonna have a job for a while. As long as that chin holds up.
What's up? Yeah, I don't know how long you want to keep eating punches like that, but sorry, I'm losing my voice in this podcast. Yeah. I'm dying every fight. But, yeah, shout outs to Marquez. That was a pretty entertaining brawl between those two. Oh, going back to the theme of not so great grappling, Chad Laprise, Galore Bufando. If you guys are listening, you will remember Galore from the Slam KO from last year against. Oh no, that was this year actually. Against Charlie Ward, in which he just threw a man on his face and just like knocked him out. Yeah, Bufando came out very MVP-esque, I would say. Lots of just weird movement, dancing around, kind of having fun. At one point, he landed a pretty nice.
Oh, that 3-piece, yeah.
Yeah, he gave him the 2-piece with the biscuit on the side. Dropped him. He went for some ground and pound, but Laprise still kind of had his wits about him. I think he tried to like lock up a leg or something, and Bufando just got back up. And then yeah, when he, how did he get taken down again? I'm trying to remember.
So Laprise stands back up. They paw each other for a little bit. Laprise grabs the clinch and literally just hits a trip takedown like it was nothing. And then mounts him immediately. So it was literally like a foot sweep.
And it was like when he was on the bottom, it was almost like it was somebody drowning who had no idea how to swim.
Yeah.
Like he was just at the bottom. He got mounted and he just got beat on. And
he kept trying to do the thing where you toss your legs around your opponent from the bottom.
Yeah, to try to like get their arms. But yeah, I don't know what.
That works if you're like the long fighter type. Like if you're like Rose
Right.
Namajunas, you can make that work. But like, this is 2017. How do people still not know how to buck and roll?
Yeah, like he didn't try to like move his hips really. He didn't. I mean, some dudes will at least they'll give up their back, which isn't always the best thing to do, but sometimes that can still work. You can find your way at least back on your feet. But yeah, like he just didn't try any of that. Like he just kept kicking his feet out or up. And when that didn't work, like he didn't really have a backup.
Yeah, like he didn't even try to like get force Laprise to like move down his like to get like to lower his guard a little bit, like where like he could move Laprise closer to his hips, as opposed to having Laprise sitting on his chest. Like it was so bad. This is a weird matchup. I don't know why they made it. Like, besides maybe to give like Laprise a win at home, because like Bufando's only win in the UFC is Charlie Ward, and Charlie Ward was like 3-3 when they fought or something, like 3-3, 3-2. And I know like everybody loves that highlight reel of Ward being tossed on his face, but If your best win is a guy being tossed on his face in your UFC debut on a prelim card in like the UK, you're probably not ready for Chad Laprise.
Yeah. And yeah, Chad Laprise definitely showed who was more well-rounded, who had much more experience. Like, yeah, I mean, good for the three-piece, but after that, the fight just pretty much went downhill.
Like Bufando needs a lot of work. I don't know if he was on Tough or like Mick Maynard was watching a UC MMA show and just saw him like lynch some freaking lace somebody or something. But like I don't know how he's in the UFC this early in his career with like a 5-2 record or whatever.
I mean, from what I saw of like the highlights before he got signed, he just seemed like one of those really flashy kind of guys. So I guess they figured, you know.
Well, the thing is, they have that like UCMMA has had guys like that before. Like Michael Venom Page was one of those dudes. He didn't get signed to the UFC. There was this other dude who was like 16-0 before he lost that fought exclusively for UCMMA. Gazar something. And like he was another one of those dudes, a really flashy, explosive striker, like really serious KO power and really versatile. But like once you brought it to the ground, he was not any good. So like for those who don't know, UCMMA is really weird. They're like they're how do I explain their rule set? Like it's not MMA. It's barely MMA. Like if you get knocked down, you don't go to the ground. Like you're forced to stand back up.
They're trying to keep the violence going.
Yeah, like it's really weird. Like a lot of the karate dudes in the UK like use it to like make their resumes look a little better than they actually are. So I don't know. Props to Laprise, who continues to look solid at light heavyweight, welterweight.
I forgot it. Is this he came up from
Lightweight.
Wait, yeah.
But I think it's his second or third fight at welterweight.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah, he's definitely a really, really talented dude. Good way to just, you know, show some resiliency. Ate some mean shots, but you know, came back and put old boy on his back and just kind of just sunned him. But yeah, shout out to Chad Laprise. That was a really good win. Next fight, oh boy, Nordine Taleb and Danny Roberts.
This one hurt.
Oh, whew. Man, I don't remember much of the fight just until that last sequence. And
Like it was only a minute long, I think, right?
yeah, it was 59 seconds. Like the kick that Taleb landed, like it didn't even land
With the shin, it landed all with the foot.
and that must have been like the hardest foot slap kick, like. And you could tell, man, after he got kicked, like if that cage wasn't there, he would have been done, cause his like right leg was all the way stretched out, like he was about to fall out. He had to like grab onto the cage to like not fall over, and then he just eats this mean, violent right hand afterwards and just flops to the floor. I think he ate a few follow-up punches, which probably didn't even need to happen. And yeah, he was out, man. Like, and then he got up really angry. I don't know if he just popped back up, but you could even tell, like, when he got lifted back to his feet, he was still wobbly. Like, he probably didn't realize, like, how bad it actually was. But, yeah, man, he got floored. Danny Roberts got floored, man. It was, ugh.
Yeah, not a good showing for Danny Roberts. And I think he was upset because like that's kind of his MO at this point, like get hurt, continues to fight. But like the forearm that he got destroyed with was straight out of like WWE. Like clean across like the chin. Ugh. um, I don't know. Like this was apparently the last fight on Nordine Taleb's contract. I find it funny that once like at 30 something years old, like mid to late 30s, last fight of his UFC contract, Taleb is or last fights of his UFC like contract, Taleb is kind of turned into like a finisher because he finished Eric Silva last year.
Oh man, that fight did
Yeah.
happen.
Like props to him. I guess he's like I don't know if he realized that like the UFC wasn't gonna bring him back if he wasn't like if there was nothing to bring back, you know. If he was just gonna be like a boring guy who they trotted out every time they go to Canada. Um, but you know, this is a really solid way to go into your free agency, I guess. Dan, I just feel bad for Danny Roberts. I really like Danny Roberts.
Yeah, like he's a good fighter.
He
like,
just gets hurt too much.
yeah, man, he just seems to be. It's one of those dudes that just somehow ends up on the wrong end. I mean, he's 2-2 in the UFC. I think 2-2.
3-2.
3-2. 3-2. So I mean, like I'm pretty sure he'll be back. But it's just like the losses that he had are just like they're just like ooh, like
Like maybe you shouldn't be doing this anymore type deal.
right. It's like yeah, like as good as the wins can be, the losses are just like man, like why are they doing you like this?
Yeah.
Like that. But I'm pretty sure he'll be back, man. He'll be back. But good win for Taleb. Foot slapping people.
Shout out to TriStar, who's kind of after a less than stellar year, kind of getting things together. Like who won? Laprise won. I think he's a TriStar dude still. He might have moved. No, he's still a TriStar dude sometimes. Laprise won. Taleb won. What's his name won? Alex Garcia won not too long ago. GSP obviously, like Rory McDonald's had a rebound year. So you know, good times.
Yeah, man. Head kick solve all problems. Moving on down the ladder, John Makdessi and Abel Trujillo. Oh yeah, McDessie's TriStar, right?
I don't think anymore. Even during the fight, he said he's a Rufus Sport now.
Okay. Yeah, he got it done in this fight. My memory kind of eludes me with this fight too. Also, I just remember like McDessie had some pretty. I feel like he didn't get hit a lot. In
No, he
fight.
didn't.
Like at all. Like this dude has some really, and I think they even mentioned it during the broadcast. Like considering some of the high level people that he's fought, like he still managed to not get, he doesn't get hit that often, but he has been on the end of some bad KOs. But
Yeah.
But overall, like the dude has some pretty solid defense, really good striker, lots of spinning techniques.
One of the best jabs in like lightweight, which he used here to make Trujillo look completely lost. Also leg kicks. Like the last bit of that leg kick, the whole thing about leg kicks, like completely destroyed one of Trujillo's legs with constant leg kicks, and Trujillo could not throw any power to save his life, like during the last stretch of the fight. So, just another solid outing for Makdessi.
I think Trujillo was kind of pissed.
Well, I'd be
the
pissed too, because freaking like he kicked him in the nuts and then poked him in the eye, or vice versa.
Yeah. And I feel like they had some words or something at the end. And Makdessi told him to show respect.
This is martial arts.
Don't you bring that garbage to this dojo?
Also, John Makdessi, whose apparel company still owes like a whole shit ton of fighters a lot of money.
Oh man, speaking of owing money, that was a bit of like MMA TMZ news. Did you hear about Michael Bisping?
Oh yeah, he got sued for like $400,000.
Man, that's a lot of money to fork over.
No wonder
man.
he had to fight
Like,
Gastelum.
Right. He must have known. Oh man, yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh boy,
That's like
I don't know,
that-
man. I know you want to retire soon, but you might need some money fights.
it's like Canelo Alvarez after getting sued like before the Triple G fight was sued for like what was essentially all his Floyd Mayweather earnings. Like he lost like $8-10 million. And Golden
Man.
Boy was like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to pay that yourself."
Oh man, yeah, that's protect your pockets. Be good business people out here, man. Don't.
If you're wondering why he took the Triple G fight,
I couldn't even sleep at night knowing I owe somebody that much money. Like, I hope I don't ever want to know what that feels like.
honor your contracts. Make sure
Be a good.
Make sure when you sign them that there are no loopholes that can be, exploited in court.
Right. Cause yeah, 400K, man, especially for an MMA fighter. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure Bisping gets paid pretty well, and as active as he is, I'm sure he's racked up with some good checks. And the GSP
Plus,
fight,
Plus
probably.
he's got a good job where he's just like in the booth.
Yeah, but still, 400K though, it's a big lump sum to be handing over. But yeah, but solid win from Magdesi. This next fight, even though it was 2 rounds, not a lot to talk about.
I didn't see most of it. I only saw the end.
You didn't miss much. Alessio Di Chirico and Oluwale Bambose. The first round was really weird because they mentioned that Oluwale was trying to get away from being that fighter that just goes full head of steam and then just gasses out. So he wants to learn to be more patient, yada yada. Which I get it, makes sense. You don't want to gas out early and then end up getting finished late. So he spent a lot of the first round. There was a lot of movement, but not a lot of action. Like both of them got booed after the first round because Alessio would take the center of the octagon and just kind of invite Oluwale in. Meanwhile, Oluwale is just kind of dance around on the outside, not really, not trying to be about that life. So that was a lot of the first round. I mean, they threw a few strikes, but it wasn't anything worth of note. They both got booed at the end of the first round. And then the second round comes, and it's pretty much more of the same thing right up until that finish. And did you see the fight in real time, or did you just see like
I saw a highlight.
Oh, man. So I felt bad because in real time, like 10 seconds before the knee happens, they do how they show the cornerman maybe at like the bottom right and they give him his little window at the bottom. So they showed, they had Oluwale's cornerman at the bottom right. So, he's out there barking instructions like, you got to move, you got to be more active, blah, 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 blah. And then they get into the clinch and he yells something. And the camera cuts. Like, you see Oluwale get kneed. He dies instantly. Like, it's just over. And you see for a brief second, his cornerman is still on the screen. And he just, like, he puts his hands, like, over his head. And he's just like, oh. And then it cuts away from him. I felt bad for dude. Like, he did. Like, he did. I felt so bad for him. Like, he didn't need to be on TV for that. But it happened so fast. Like, yeah, they clinched. Oluwale got kneed. He face planted, and that was a wrap.
So Oluwale is 1-4 in the UFC.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh yeah, he is.
Been stopped 3 times. Like this is probably the end of him in the UFC. Like I feel bad because he really should have spent the last 2 years fighting in like Ring of Combat, as opposed to being dragged out here and like beaten by Paulo Costa and like Uriah Hall and Alessio Di Chirico.
Yeah. That sucks. 'Cause I feel like the tools are there for him. He just needs
a better camp. That's what he needs.
Probably that. That and yeah, he just needs to like hone all of his skill. But yeah, he got thrown in with the big boys and ooh, yeah, man, that knee was nasty. That knee was nasty. But I don't know. I want to be optimistic and say, yeah, this is probably the end of him in the UFC. He'll probably be in another promotion after this. But I feel like if he gets it all together, he could probably fight his way back.
Maybe.
Possibly.
I don't know enough about the middleweight scene on the regional scene to be like, you know what, there are other guys who probably make it there before him, and I'll probably keep him out, but you never know. Like, he could end up in Bellator for all we know. Because God knows they need middleweights of any type of mold or quality.
Oh, man.
So,
yeah. And it wouldn't be far-fetched that he goes to Bellator and wins like 2 fights and he's in the title contender fight. Like, I mean, Sakara just fought for a middleweight title.
I mean, Ed Ruth needs an opponent. They just had Chris Dempsey, so why not Oluwale Bembos?
Another athletic, we'll see. But good win for Alessio. Not the most eventful fight, but it ended in pretty brutal fashion. Yeah, anytime you get kneed and you get face planted, it's not a good thing.
Nah, not at all.
The end of this card, Jesus Christ. Last fight. This matchup just hurt my soul in so many ways. Jordan Mayne, Eric Silva. So quick backstory. I purposely tried to avoid this fight. Like, I got off of work at 3:30. Card starts at 4:30. So I was like, you know what? If I go home right now, I'll definitely catch all the fights. And then you messaged me and told me this was the first fight. And I was like, you know what? I should probably go to like Best Buy or something. And I need to do something so I don't have to watch this fight. And just a side note, man, I kind of forgot that it's like, I don't know, it's been weird this holiday season. Like, I don't feel like Christmassy. At least like that hasn't hit me
I haven't
yet.
felt Christmas since I was like 16.
Yeah, I feel it when I get off of work, but but like I was brutally reminded when I went in that parking lot, and Jesus Christ, it took me like 25 minutes just to get into a parking spot, just so I could do some Christmas shopping, and then I ended up making it home. I got home just in time for like the last round. And so yeah, I can't give full analysis on this fight because I only saw the last 2 rounds. I rewatched it this morning, but the site I rewatched it on only had the last 2 rounds, and it was only partial of the second round, so I didn't even see the whole second round, just like midway through. But I guess from what I gathered, Mayne just kind of took him down and beat him up. Silva had little moments on the feet, but nothing too crazy. Apparently, from what I was hearing, I guess Mayne looked more aggressive than he has as of late. So, he said that he felt like that's why he's been losing as of late, as he hasn't been aggressive as he should be.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. I just report the news. But either way, this is Mayne's first win since like 2014. So, good on him. Your first win in about 3 years. As for Eric Silva, man,
I feel bad for Eric Silva because after he lost all his explosiveness and like athleticism, he became a much better fighter. Like he legitimately has become a much better, at least striker. I don't know about grappler. Like he was always like a weird sprint type grappler. Like the fight he had with who was it? Luan Chagas?
Yeah.
Where like he just showed like a tremendous patience as a striker. Even the
it seemed like he's been fighting smarter.
Yeah, and he fought smarter against Yancy Medeiros, but Yancy Medeiros is made of like brick and mortar.
Right. Yeah, man. Silva, man. This guy. His career, man. It hurts. It hurts. it's so much like what if and what could have been with him, but it just never seems to all come together. And I mean, I get it. He's only on a 2-fight lose streak, but like I just feel like his days might be numbered. Like
He's also 1-4 in his last 5.
yeah, like this might have been the last of him because even from the little bit I saw, like this didn't look like a very impressive performance on his end. And I mean, good on Means. He lived to fight another day because
there's another guy who's looked increasingly fragile.
Yeah. And that was kind of the story of this fight and why I didn't want to watch it because these are two fighters who I felt like their stories are the same. Like I was really big fans of these guys early on, and I thought both of them would go on to do really great things.
Then they fought Matt Brown and everything fell apart.
Right. Like, both of their careers just did not pan out the way I thought they would, man. Like, I remember watching Mean and Strikeforce just elbowing the crap out of Cyborg. Like, he put on a lot of good fights, man. I was a big fan of this dude. But yeah, man, both of their careers just kind of... I mean, I guess I get Means because if anybody doesn't know Means' background, this dude's been fighting since he was like 16. Like, just to put things in perspective, Mean is 28. Me and Mean are the same age. Mean has fought 42 times.
I'm pretty sure he took a year off, a year or two, right? Like he retired in.
Yeah, he retired in
2016, 15. And then he did not fight again until December 2016. So like he stopped, like he retired after he lost to Alves, which was in January 2015. Took like a year and 11 months off. He came back to fight Emil Weber Meek in 2016 December. So basically, like by the time this man was like 26 years old. He'd been fighting for 10 years and had 40-something fights. Probably more, considering that like he fought in Canada and like there were just smokers that he probably had in between like real events where he would just like show up at somebody's gym and they would set up chairs and just fight. So like this man probably has like 50, 60 fights as his record.
Yeah. It's crazy how many times he's fought, but he lives to see another day. He's got his W, so congrats on him. He seemed like he fought a pretty smart fight. He did what he needed to do to get the W. For Eric Silva, yeah, I feel like the next time we see him fight, it might not be in this promotion. But yeah, that was the whole card in its entirety. Pretty solid card from top to bottom. Once again, I can't reiterate enough. I was so appreciative that this card ended so early. So I mean, it was a good card, man. The prelims had a lot of KOs, a lot of finishes. Main card, a couple of finishes, a really great performance in the main event. It was a pretty entertaining throughout. I can't really complain.
Yep. I hope this one did a decent number. It deserves it.
Yeah, like most, we saw people show out. People made names for themselves. But yeah, this is a pretty dope card. So yeah, that was UFC on Fox 26. Not to cut things short, but I have to see Star Wars in a few hours. So guess we'll just get on over to parting shots and shout outs. I think I wrote mine down. Let me pull mine up. So I only have 2, really. Vitaly Minakov fought recently against Tony Johnson. He is now 21-0, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. Probably outside of the UFC, easily one of the best heavyweights who... Former Bellator champ, but that situation got weird. I forgot even what happened with that.
Minakov is technically still under Bellator contract, but he's been fighting in fight nights for like 2 years now.
Right. So Yeah, I don't know what's going on with his contract. I thought at one point he was coming to the UFC, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on with his contract.
Every
but
few months, what's his name? Scott Coker's like, yeah, we're bringing them in.
Yeah, and then he doesn't
Yeah.
show up. And newsflash, he's not in that tournament either. So, but shout outs to him, man. Still one of the best heavyweights outside of the UFC. Still undefeated. So, shout outs to him and a KO that hopefully I'll remember when I post this podcast to leave a link in the description. It was a KO. Oh God, what's the card? Was that an ACB card? The Alexandr.
No, it's like a
Shabily?
GME or GFC or something like that. Like it's one of those weird European cards.
I'll try to remember, but the gentleman's name is Alexandr Shabily. He KO'd a dude named Miroslav Strbak. Very nasty, really clean uppercut KO that I just thought would be worth mentioning. If I can remember, I'll leave it in the description. It was a nasty, just one shot, walk away KO. Oh no, real quick, I guess one third shout out. LFA 29 happened also this weekend, or it might have been on Friday. I can't remember. The vacant bantamweight title was on the line. Ricky Simon beat former UFC vet Chico Camus. I did not get a chance to watch the fight, but from what I heard, it was pretty one-sided. So shout outs to Ricky, who is their new bantamweight champ. And that's pretty much about all I got.
All right, I got 3 too. Shouts to Nicola Adams, 2-time Olympic gold medalist for the UK. She fought her 3rd pro fight last night, I think. On the undercard for Billy Joe Saunders and David Lemieux, and ended up beating this woman via 3rd round TKO. Katie Taylor already has her title, has a world title. Carson Shields already has 2, so I imagine in 2018 we'll see Nicola Adams fight for a world title. So that's gonna be cool to see. From China, they had 2 tournaments. A heavyweight tournament, which I cannot find who won the damn thing. So, forget them. But the winner of the Mulan Legend tournament was a woman by the name of Guan Akui, a former Wushu world champion. So shouts to her. She beat actually China's best MMA prospect Jiang Weili in the finals or semifinals to cinch the thing. So that was really cool. And last but not least, shouts to Black Thought, who dropped like the best 10 minutes in hip hop this week. Aha 97.
Oh man. Did you see the people mad at Black Thought?
The ones who didn't realize he was a rapper? Who just saw Black Thought trending and was like, what about White Thought?
Oh my God. Oh man. And I dove into some comment sections of that, and I think we're in the time. I think this might be the dumbest generation of people.
But no, this is just the generation where you know where everybody's thinking because everybody has a platform to say whatever's on their mind.
I mean, that too, but like, the thing about this is like, literally one Google search. Google search.
We're not the dumbest, we're just the laziest.
Maybe that's the word. It's a combination of the two. I can't give these people benefit of the doubt because I saw too many of them. Like, one Google search could have, or even, I'm assuming nobody clicked on the video. Because if you would have clicked on the video, you would have realized, oh, Black Thought, that's a person. This isn't like an ideology.
That's the thing. They didn't see like a video. They just saw a Black Thought trending at number 1. And they're like, oh. And their whataboutism gene kicked in. And, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what if there was a rapper named White Thought? And I'm like, well, thank God we never
hilarious.
Yeah, for one, right, that would be wild. I'd probably listen just because I'd be intrigued. Like, what do you even...
So,
what do you...
So, question. Are there white supremacist rappers?
You know, I'm gonna say yeah. I wouldn't doubt it. There's gotta be one. There has to be one. There's gotta be. There's gotta be one out there.
Does this rapper recognize the I don't even say hypocrisy, but like the irony of what he's doing?
Oh no, no. He in their head, he's finding some way to. He's judo flipping the situation to like somehow get it to fit his narrative. And like to anybody who was like, "What about a white thought?" Like, dude, we had a rapper named Vanilla Ice. Like, it's the whitest name.
There's your white thought.
Right. Like, his name was Vanilla Ice, and regardless of how corny his music might have been, this dude sold like millions of records. Like, come on, man.
Mixtape is I love hip hop but hate black people.
Oh, what about White Thought? Dude, there was a basketball player whose nickname was White Chocolate. Like, where have you people been at for like the last... Oh, man. The moral of the story is, listen,
the moral of
man,
the story is
like,
Black Thought's the greatest rapper of all time.
There we go.
That's a moral we can all vibe to.
There we go. Yeah, we can all get with that. People, before you type, just do your research, man. I know people don't like to do research, which is crazy because we live in the information age and people still choose to be dumb. But just take that one quick second out
Those
of your
Wikipedia articles be long though.
You would have known who Black Thought is in the first sentence. You don't even have to go. You don't even have to scroll down. You could have just looked at the headline of the page. Oh man, that I lost a lot of. I mean, I don't have a lot of hope in humanity in general, but that just. Oh boy, that one.
I want there to
me.
be an Asian rapper named Yellow Thought.
I mean, we have a rich Chigga.
Exactly.
Around, so
like, let's lower the bar.
Oh man, just you guys. I don't know. That really blew my mind. Like, but shout outs to Black Thought though. That was an amazing freestyle, and like he didn't lose a breath, man. He just.
Oh god, did you ever see the Justin? I think his name is Justin Hunter video, like Black Thought, the greatest of all time, where he like they go through like old interviews with like producers and rappers and stuff to like try to like show why this person's so respected as a rapper. And
no, I have to look that up.
But they talk to him. God, I can't remember who it was, which producer it was, but he was talking about like how Black Thought told him about this method of breathing he learned in high school called circular breathing, where like as he's rapping, he's also taking in air, so he can just keep going and going and going and going and going and going. It's actually really interesting.
That's crazy. Whatever it did, it's working because he didn't miss a beat, like 10 minutes straight. Just yeah, dude is he's amazing. That dude is an amazing talent. But yeah, shout out to everybody who got mad. Just y'all got to do better.
I wish my life was that stressful.
This is why we're losing our internet again. This is what it.
I wish my life was that stress free, where I could worry about Black Thought trending on Twitter.
Right. That's all the things going on in the world, and this is what riles you up. This is what stirs the pot. Yeah, man. Let's do better. Let's do better. But I guess real quick before we get out of here, next card coming up December 30th, so we get to end the year with pay-per-view. Holly Holm and Chris Cyborg headlining UFC 219. Other cards have mentioned. Other fights have mentioned. Barboza and Nurmagomedov, Jimmy Rivera, John Lineker. Oh, I just lost the card. Where'd it go? Cynthia Calvillo and Carla Esparza. The return of Carlos Condit, Neil Magny, Rick Glenn, Miles Jury. Lots of good fights on here. Just a pretty good card to end the year on. So we got that coming up on the 30th. We're probably going to do. I'm trying to figure out some kind of mega cast we'll probably do.
No, I'm not
for
laughing
New
at
Year.
that. I'm laughing at.
But yeah, we'll do some kind of mega cast hopefully for New Year's. It might not be on New Year's. I'll be up on New Year's. I'm not gonna be doing anything special. Most likely, not at least as of now. I don't have anything planned. But just know, probably the first podcast of 2018 will probably be a very long podcast. We're gonna get Joey and Stokes on here, and we're all just gonna be stupid and talk and ramble for 2, maybe 3 hours. Who knows what'll happen? But trying to get that in the works. And I figure close to the end of the year is coming up, so I'll be doing my top 20 favorite albums of this year. Eminem won't be making that list.
Did you listen to whatever it's called? Because I didn't.
Yes, I did. I listened to it at work. Quick mini review, because I don't even know if I'm gonna review this. I guess I kind of have to because it's Eminem, but it was a very long album. Some of the concepts and ideas were good. Like, I get what he was trying to do, but the execution was very bad. And like there was no replay value. There wasn't one song on that album I could see myself going back and listening to. Like, yeah, I could rant on and on, but yeah, it wasn't a great listen. It was not. For it to be 19 tracks and it felt every bit of 19 tracks long, it was a hard album.
80 minutes.
Yeah. And like there are tracks on there that are like 4 and like 5 and 6 minutes long. Like a couple of them. Like it's long. That was a chore to get through. I don't know. I'll probably review it just because it's Eminem, but yeah, not a great listen, to be honest. And this is coming from someone I'm normally feel like I'm really lenient. Like, I don't really get mad at, like, most albums. If I don't like, I just kind of write it off as like, you know what, this just kind of isn't for me. But this just wasn't good.
Yeah.
Like, it just wasn't good. But, so, you know, there'll be some fun podcasts coming up in the near future. So, yeah, man, be on the lookout. As always, you know, this podcast can be heard on YouTube, SoundCloud, Google Play, iTunes. If you're on iTunes, please rate and subscribe on iTunes. Coming up to the end of the year, so just give me a Christmas present, man. Give me some more ratings on iTunes. If you want to send emails, you can send emails at dojotalkpodcast@yahoo.com. So yeah, man, let's end the year on a good note. Actually, yeah, by the time you guys hear at least the next fight podcast, it probably will be 2000.
It will be Christmas, which is much more important.
Yeah, that is true. I don't really do anything for New Year's, so. But yeah, man, this pretty much been another episode of the Dojo Talk Podcast. As always, anytime people are being kicked and or punched in the face, we'll be there to talk about it, and hopefully we catch you guys soon. You guys have a nice holiday. Be safe in traffic. Don't do anything crazy, and we will catch you guys later. Peace.